The target of my lesson plan is the students in third year of high school. It's usually 17 to 18 years old students in Japan. Because they are Japanese, of course their mother tongue is Japanese. The objectives of this class is, after completing this class, students will have some ideas toward learning English. Also, they will be able to use technologies to create presentation, such as Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides, and find some sources and definitions of vocabs through the internet. Also, this class will provide students some opportunities to output their learning. All students should take English classes at Japanese junior high school, or have equivalent level of English knowledge of junior high school. The reason they need to take them is because they like those grammar are the minimum knowledge to use English. Without those knowledge, they may not be able to use English properly. Also, students should take a prerequisite test which asks junior high school level English. This test investigates students' English levels. This test will take place through Canvas and mostly graded automatically, except short answer questions, because short answer questions basically has some various answers. To prevent cheating, I will make students to install HonorLock, which proctors students not to cheat. So, cheat during the test of this prerequisite. So, first module of my class provides some lectures of English grammar, basically, which are learned at junior high school. Students can ask teacher to teach specific grammar which they do not understand through Discord or Line anonymously. It helps students to reduce hesitation to ask questions, like anonymously helps students. Also, to study vocabulary, I will use the AR cards, which allow students to study vocabulary visually. If a card shows the word run, and scanning that card, there appear a human running on the AR cards. So, using those cards, AR cards, students will play Karuta, which is a Japanese traditional card game. The rule of it is like a ruler read another card from another deck, which are related to the cards players use, and the players find the card which the ruler read and get it. And eventually, players compete how many cards they get. Second module of my class is the time to output their learning through talking with English native speakers. Students will have one-to-one communication with native speakers with Skype, so like in distance, online. What they talk can be anything, but in the case if they don't come up with any, topic to talk, I'll prepare some examples like their hobbies, future career, dream, and so on, like what they did in junior high, whatever. Also, I will let students ask the advantages of being able to speak English, but it's not mandatory. However, asking this question would be helpful for their final presentation project. This one-to-one communication opportunity has students output their learning, what they learned so far. So Japanese English classes usually don't provide sufficient output opportunities. So yeah, this one-to-one conversation is pretty important opportunity to output what they learned. The grammar taught in the first module was the essential to speak English. They may realize the fact that the grammar they learned at junior high is important. Also, they may notice that English grammar learned at high school is not as much as important grammar that they learn at junior high. So this is quite important notice to think learning English critically. Think about learning English critically. Another one-to-one communication. No, not another. Sorry. After the one-to-one communication, students will divide it into some groups and prepare for final presentation project. Which theme? Its theme is: should Japanese people learn English at school? Why or why not? Think critically. Unless traveling abroad and work or study there, Japanese people usually are not required to speak other languages than Japanese. So I'll give students to think about this topic. Students will use either Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides to create PowerPoint. They can use any technologies to communicate each other, like Discord, WeChat, Line, or also they can meet physically. They can also ask for teachers to help creating or making presentation. Also, they can use Grammarly or other tools to check their grammar precision. They also can contact a teacher or ask teacher to check the grammar too. Students can find some images or illustrations to design their slides. My personal recommendation is Irastoya, which I inserted the URL here, so you can visit there, but it's basically written in Japanese, so it's quite hard to use them. So at the final class, students will provide their presentation of whether Japanese people should learn English at school. The presentation should be conducted in English, and after each presentation, I'll provide some time to ask questions. And of course, it should be in English. If it's hard, asking question in English, they can ask teachers to translate their question into English and, repeat it. After completing all presentation, I'll also conduct a survey through Google Forms about my class to get some feedback from my about my class to get some feedback from students to improve my class. Throughout this class, students will have some opportunities to input, which is basically lectures, and also output, which is one-to-one conversation, one-to-one communication with native speakers, and presentation in English. Also, students will get some critical thinking skills specifically toward English education in Japan. Also, they can notice the language gap between mother tongue, like Japanese, and the target language here, which is English, throughout this class. And finally, let me talk about why I don't assign a test to students. Certainly, test is a good way to measure students' English level, but I prioritize output or use that language is more important than taking tests. Therefore, I only provide low-stake language test, which is a prerequisite English test. However, although it's a low-stake test, it's necessary to know students' English level, so I'll let students to install proctoring system. to prevent cheating. That's it for my presentation. Thank you very much.